Yeah, I got this new radio thing, so
Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of the O'Shea Vlogcast. I'm your host, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Today, I have a very, 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 very special guest. He's no stranger to YouTube. He's had a great channel for over 4 years. He has great content, a travel channel in its own right, and he's definitely red pill. My man, Andrew26101, aka Mr. Show. What's good with you, player?
going on, man? Thank you, Ocean, for having me on the show. It's popping, man.
Man, just so glad to have you on the show, Showtime. I mean, I've been wanting to get you on here for at least a year.
Really?
Oh, yeah, man, at least a year.
I hear you, man. It's about time, man. I've been wanting to get on here, so I'm glad to be on here. Appreciate the, extended invite.
Okay. Well, let's talk about you, man, because you've been on YouTube for 4 years before we get into all the other stuff. What made you want to come to YouTube and start making videos in the first place?
You know what's so crazy is that the first time I got on YouTube was I was going through some problems with people in life. I was dealing with haters. So I looked up on some videos, I was like, okay, how to deal with haters. So when I looked that up, I started seeing people like Mr. Stylistic. I don't know if you've heard of the dude you love to hate. He goes by Monstrosity. So I listened to a few of his videos, and I can kind of like, when you listen to people's videos and certain people's advices, you can kind of adapt their life experiences to yours, and you kind of like, you kind of feel that person.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually when they start making videos of other topics, you're like, you know what, I could kind of relate to this guy. So what truly got me more focused into doing videos was one day I said, you know what, let me just talk about relationships. I started talking about things that was going on in my life, and ever since that, it just kind of took off from there.
Okay.
Kind of put it on the platform.
What kind of issues were you having in the relationships?
All kinds. Well, I'll tell you what. I was having a lot of problems in the dating scene dealing with women. I was going from women to women. I was going on dates. I was doing exactly what my parents tell me to do. Be respectful to women. Open doors for females. Buy them candy. Buy them flowers. Right? All this stuff that needs to be written.
Mm-hmm.
I did everything. I was socially programmed, which is kind of crazy, but it's like psychologically, I felt like I was pimped from an early age on how to deal with people in society. So with those those tools that I've installed and I've, started to grasp, I've learned that they weren't working out for me. I did exactly what I was supposed to do when I was told from my parents, be respectful to women, buy them candies, buy them flowers, whatever. If you take them on dates, none of that shit works. Okay. It's complete bullshit. Don't do it. You got to do. I've learned in life from being rejected, from being stood up by females, from cheating ass females, from whatever you could say in a dictionary, from all the experiences, I just put it out there. And I said, you know what? I'm listening to these dating advices and these so-called guru experts on how to pick up women. They don't really give you the core values of what it takes to get a woman. They just give you like little instrumental tools on how to attract them. But when you get them, what are you supposed to do afterwards? I mean, just think about it. Most of these relationships I've been into have all failed. Why? I don't know. I just been myself. The thing is that instead of me doing the things that I was taught to do, I should have been doing the things that I want to do. You get what I'm saying? Because systematically, we're taught to do exactly what this person is telling. This is what you do. I mean, we look at the reflection of our parents. Hey, I bought your mom this. I bought your mom flowers. Bought your mom candy. This is what you do to get your wife. See, I got my wife. This is what you do to get yourself a good woman. Bullshit. Because back in those days, mommy wanted the bad boy too.
Right.
Mommy wanted the aggressive type. But see, these are things that they don't want to tell you. And what they do with these kids is they systematically pimp their minds, and especially in today's society. I mean, it's like everything's just completely tarnished. I mean, it's like, I even think of it like this in the dating scene. I mean, you've got a certain type of women that you could have and you could pick from. Okay, you got your good woman, you got your bad women. I mean, you got your real slutty women. But nowadays, it just seems like the media has painted a picture of what women's liberation is supposed to be like in this 21st century. Mm-hmm. So now you got women out here shaving half of their heads. You got some of them dressing like dudes. Why? Because they say this. Well, I'm allowed to do so. I'm a woman. I can do whatever I want. Okay, sure. But that doesn't bring out the feminine energy that you're supposed to by naturally, put out. I mean, if you're dressing like a guy, what type of energy that you think you're going to be putting out?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, because I'm just gonna. It seems like I'm echoing. So what I'm doing is I basically just muted you just real quick, and then when I ask a question, you just take yourself off mute so that way you're not echoing. You have a great channel, and it's talking about pretty much helping men from your past experiences. You use a lot of your own shit and the things you dealt with women and how you got played and how you overcame it. But you also have a different angle because at some point you got tired of American fucking women and you started to go and experience other things. Talk about your travel with different foreign women and how you're able to really talk about that, especially in the DR. Oh, unmute yourself. Take yourself off mute.
Okay, you can hear me pretty good, right? Is there echo?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Everything kind of started off in high school. Middle school, my middle school years wasn't too bad. Elementary school, when you're in elementary school, you're not really too much into girls. You're more into like comic books and watching X-Men, like cartoon shows. I mean, X-Men was like a big thing for me back in the days in school. But when I went to middle school, I started getting more interested in girls. And then from that aspect point, I noticed that there's been a change within my cycle and growing up and dating. I've been through a lot of dates, and a lot of those dates always end up turning out the same. And I even read books. I even searched the internet, like, how to get women and how to attract women. And I've noticed that I was doing the right things, but it's just systematically how society has propelled us to be as individuals. That's just the way it is. You just got to learn how to gel, got to get in where you fit in. But for me, I was just an awkward individual. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hang out with the it crowd, never went to my high school prom, never went to my homecoming. I was just a regular dude that was trying to get accepted by society for just being who I was. But society didn't want to accept me. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to accept myself and just excel. So I started getting into social gatherings, social groups. And then I started talking about, I started getting into relationships and women. And with this group I was talking about, a lot of the men also understood exactly what I was going through. I mean, people, would classify them as nerds, squares, or whatever. I don't know. But to me, they were just normal people that was just going through a hard time in society. So I also felt propelled, and I also felt like, oh, something was wrong with me because of the fact that I couldn't get the women that, most guys were getting. But then I realized within this group, there was a lot of guys that was also going through the same situations as me. And one day I ran into this guy that was 45 years old, about 15 to 20 years older than me at the time. So we talked, and he says, look, he says he's married a woman from Thailand. So I said, from Thailand, a female. So I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, man, she cooks, she cleans, man. She's just like so loyal. She's faithful. She gives me back rubs and shit. And she's fucking beautiful, man. Like, you should have seen her pictures. She's gorgeous. And I'm like, damn, really? And he was like, yeah, man, foreign women, man. I'm saying that's the way to go. So this kind of intrigued me a bit on foreign women, because then I started to do some research and watch videos and also read some books on foreign lifestyle. And I started to, from his knowledge and his experience and also talking to his friends and reading books, I started gaining a lot of perspective on the foreign lifestyle. So I was very intrigued. So I said to myself, you know what? Let me get a passport. I invested $150 into a passport. As soon as I got a passport, I started to get into social groups, and these social groups were people who traveled around the world. And I was very intrigued at it because of the fact that these guys were just normal human beings. They didn't have a lot of money, you know, just like me. And, you know, it wasn't your stereotypical, like, okay, you have to be the baller, you have to be a guy on TV in order for you to get a smoking hot chick or a normal chick. I mean, these were just regular dudes, 9-to-5 guys that are getting these smoking hot, beautiful women. And not just that, but they were being very catering and very loving, you know? So my first trip, because I have family over there in Europe, by the way. I'm originally from New York, but I have family in Europe and also the Caribbean islands. So I traveled to England. So when I went over there, it was my first time I actually went to a foreign land. So when I got there, I noticed that the hospitality level was a whole lot different from where I was coming from. I mean, it was kind of weird because, you know, me being a native New Yorker, New Yorkers don't look at people. They just stare. Okay. They just give you the complete stare down. They look at you as if you're an enemy of the state. Like you're a foreign, like you're an alien or some shit. Like if you're a guy and you're looking at a female, the first thing they're looking at you, they're staring at you up and down like they don't want to be looked at. So it was weird for me to be in an environment where women were actually smiling at you and waving at you. So I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, okay. It was weird. But then when they started being nice and being catered, I mean, this is back like in like probably like the late 90s or so when I went to England. So, when these women were catering to me and started smiling at me, I was sitting down and one of the females asked me a question about a certain place that she needed to go, but I wasn't sure. So I was like, hey, you know, I'm an American. I'm not from this country or whatever. She says, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, I love your accent. I'm like, really? She's like, say that again. I'm like, say what? Oh my God, I love it. I'm like, what? So it was a great feeling, but England is a little bit is a little bit westernized in its way. I think it's fully westernized now because it's more to the west. But I didn't really get my full experience until I went to Singapore. Now, when I went to Singapore, the women were very catering, very loving. When I went to Malta, I've been to areas, and you want to know more about DR, or you want to know about the areas that I've traveled to? Because I have a list. Okay.
And then we'll go on to DR.
Okay. So I went to Singapore. Singapore is a little bit more, I should say, very cultural like. They have very strict rules. If you're a smoker, you cannot throw cigarette butts on the floor. You can do some time in prison. Yeah. You can't litter. You could also do some time in prison. Legal substances like marijuana, like cocaine, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're going to go to jail. Same thing like over there. But they're a little bit more stern and more strict. You can't graffiti. You can't do any of the other craziness that people would do where I would see around me. So, yeah, when I went to Malta, that was a great experience too. Everything is a little bit more Roman history-like. The people were very catering, very nice. The women were extremely beautiful. I got meals paid for, which was crazy. I got invited to dinner. It is crazy. I've never had a woman invite me to dinner and actually paid for my dinner. I mean, she actually invited me. And that's how it should be, because usually when you go out with your guys, you go out and whoever invites who usually picks up the tab. Or, you know, we'll split it up. But, you know, it's like in American society, if we invite a female out, we are socially conditioned and propelled to pay for the woman's dinner. Who made that rule? Just think of it. Just look at the rules that's going on in society. I mean, if we say no, then all of a sudden we're cheap or it makes us look bad. But then if we pay for a woman's dinner, how come she's not considered cheap? But if we decide to not pay for her dinner and she pay for her own or pay for ours, we're considered cheap. It's like, yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick. I'm just going to put on mute so that way you're not echoing. So you started going to these different places. I've heard you talk about these, you know, this in your video. I listened probably over 100, 200 of your videos. Seriously, I listened to a lot of your content. What got me to your channel is I saw like this big video you did about 25 minutes long, is when you were actually going to the Dominican Republic. And I think out of any channel on YouTube for a black dude, you're probably the expert on the DR. what drove you to go to the DR, and why have you been there so many times?
What drove me to go to DR? I would have to say the physical beauty of the women. And not just that. I love dark-skinned women. You know what I'm saying? I love the African essence of women. And I also like Latin women too. I love the culture. So I'm looking at DR, for instance. I'm looking at the pictures of the women. They pretty much look identical to being African women, which they are. I mean, for some parts of the island is of African descent. If you go there, you could check it out. But they would consider themselves as the Morns, the Mornanas. What got me into going to DR was I joined a travel group a long time ago. And these guys went to Dominican Republic, and they told me how the women are. Like, man, women are beautiful, they're easygoing. You could talk to them, and I'm seeing pictures of guys. A couple of my boys around me have been to DR, so I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and check this out. My first trip to DR was 2002. The first time I went there. I would have to say when I flew in, it's a very hot place. I tell you that. It's pretty hot, especially during the summertime. But man, I tell you, the treatment I've got out there, brother, is breathtaking, man. I mean, I could literally sit down, have myself a cold beer. A woman will come by, wrap a napkin around the beer and give it back to me. And she'll have a beer and sit down and talk to me and ask me, hey, how are you? Where are you from? Yeah. It's weird shit. It's like the movies. And she's a smoking hot, beautiful woman. But the thing is, though, we're so mesmerized by the beauty because where we come from, we're not used to that treatment. But as soon as we land into foreign land and we get this type of a treatment from women, it's weird because the same type of dime pieces that you would see in the so-called Western world, there are a dozen of them on this island. So that dime piece that you see right now in this country is a 2 over there in that country. And you're like, you will see once you land over there. You're like, holy shit. So guess what? You got a whole bunch of regular dime pieces that are in America that look just like her that are fighting for you. And you're not used to this attention because the really good looking chicks want you. So those pack of girls that are semi good looking in that country, in our country, they're bad as hell. They're fucking fine as shit. But over there, they're just regular girls. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how they just flock to you. They just talk to you, bro. Let me tell you something. I can go in there with $50 and walk in there like I got $1 million.
Damn.
That's how far my money. That's how far my money stretch on getting shots and just dealing. And I can get a table. I don't gotta pay for no VIP or none of that shit. I get a nice table. Say, hey, I want to reserve a table. No problem, Poppy. I got you. Boom, boom, boom. They got me rounds of shots and everything. And next minute, birds are flocking like a feather. And I feel like I'm in a rap star in a music video. I literally feel like I'm fucking Trey Songz in that bitch.
Really?
Yeah. Look at Drake's video. Why do you think he's always shooting over there in the video? He probably don't even pay a dime for those girls to be in his video. Why do you think he's always in DR and Jamaica and all those places? Like, oh shit, I'm spending cheap money on having these girls in my video. Shit. Well, I probably ain't even spending nothing. They just want to be around me. Oh my God, it's Drake. He probably ain't got to pay shit for those girls for being on the video just because he's Drake.
So let me ask you this. When you first went over there, like the very first time, how long did it take you to go back the second time? Like, what was the time distance and when you went back?
I went back 3 weeks later.
Are you serious?
I ain't shit you, dog. I went back 3 weeks later. The first time I went back, I went straight right the fuck back 3 weeks, man. I said, fuck that. I'm going back.
Okay, so when you went back, what was it like the second time when you actually went back?
It's never really the first time. It's never like the first time because the first experience is just wow. But the second time I went there was great too. I mean, I still had a good time. It really just depends on what you're looking for. Like I said, if you're looking for a good time, if you're one of those guys, if you're just trying to have a good time and you're just trying to get your rocks off, just have fun, there's areas like that for you too. But there's tons of women that do that. But please remember, there is a price for that. It's like everywhere else in the world. Now, people want to look at the form of prostitution over there a lot different from over here. And the thing is, in America's culture, when they hear the word prostitution, it's like a filthy, dirty word that needs to be locked in the closet. But in other aspects, it's just like anywhere else. It's a transition. But the thing is, which is kind of sad though, in certain of these third world countries, is that these people actually do it to survive, to either feed their family or to get by, because the job market over there is horrible, man. It sucks. There's low poverty areas in a lot of these places, and it's really, really poor. And it makes you really appreciate life a lot better. You get a very educational perspective of life when you go over there. And then when you come back here, you think to yourself, wow, you know what? I got it really good compared to these people. These people don't even got shit, and they're still humble. That's why I respect the culture over there, because not only are the women just beautiful, but the fact that they embrace and they're humble about their beauty compared to the women over here. And just going through all the experiences and being rejected by women and just being torn down, and just being myself. I know there's a lot of men that's out there that have the same problem. And you get a woman's number, you say the right things, the next minute she doesn't pick up the phone, or it's just some bullshit fake ass number, or she stalls out on you on a date. We all get tired of that shit. I mean, after some time, you start to beat down yourself. I got to the point where I beat the fuck out of myself, and I was saying to myself, oh, damn, is it me? You know? And I started having more low confidence in myself, you know, because then these women were just basing me solely on my looks. The reason why these women were basing me solely on my looks is because what it was is, deep down inside, I psychologically psyched myself out, and I started to feel as if I didn't look good for women. So when you don't feel that way, women will pick up on that. I've noticed that in this country. But in other countries, they don't pick up on that. And the thing is, the women adapt more to your personality, more than just your looks. So if they look at you, they're smiling and they're happy because you're just there. But they're waiting to see what type of person you are, because that's what separates the Western world women from the overseas women, because the Western world women will judge you based on your looks first, then later on will try to get a prospect or a concept of your personality. Sometimes it's not even just about personality, it's just about what you have to offer physically. Over there, yes, you should at least look decent for women, don't get me wrong, but you don't have to be a Trey Songz or a Chris Brown to have flawless looks to get yourself a dime piece that's over here, that the dime pieces are like twos over there compared twos over here compared to over there. So they're looking more for your personality traits.
Okay, let me do this real quick. Just not to cut you off, but let me promote your channel real quick if we can.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is, for everybody, shout outs to the brothers that are on the show. It's 1:22 a.m. here in Poland, but we're still rocking because I'm trying to get this interview with the brother for a year. What we want to do is, first, let's like the video. I know we have 84 people in the chat. And once again, shout out to Charles Gilmore for supporting us in the super chat. Marcus Muscle, what's going on? I just saw your new video, man. I'm actually probably going to do a response to that. It was a good video you did about how brothers need to get their shit together. So shout out to you for that video, Marcus. But let's get the video, let's get the likes up, brothers. What up, High Def? And then what we also want to do is for you brothers who would want to subscribe to Andrew26101. He has an awesome channel, man. A lot of good stuff, over 400 videos. Do me a favor, you guys go into the actual comment section, okay, of the chat. What I want you to do is to subscribe to Andrew26101. His name also and profile will be in the description, okay? So you guys can also find it there. But do me a favor, go into the chat, click on him, subscribe, hit the bell on his channel, and then comment sub, all right? We want to get him a lot of subs tonight for coming over to the channel. You know how we do. Whenever we get brothers over here, we always support them. We always trying to help them. So let's do that, brothers. So let's keep the likes coming up. And then let's also, you can look at the description link. You can subscribe to him that way, or you can do it here in the chat. All right. So let's go back to the interview, and let's do this. So how was it? 'Cause I know you have a lot of good stories about the Dominican Republic, and you have a lot of bad stories. Like, I like your channel because the way you keep that shit so real. Like, you talk about like when you play bitches and when you also get played. Talk about when you first got into like a serious relationship over there, and how did that shit work out, good or bad?
I want to tell you something. I had a relationship in Malta, and the thing is, with this chick I was with, that didn't turn out too good. I mean, you're gonna have some bad experiences with foreign women, but the thing is, what's great about it is that you have a chance to explore and find different aspects of women out there. So it's not like you're gonna find the same old type of women you're gonna run into. Eventually, you have a better chance in finding something that's greater for you. That's why I love the dating scene over there, because you have more options than you do over here in the West. But that experience when I was with this chick, we were actually in love. We were in love with each other. Everything was straight at first. But come to find out, she did cheat on me with another American guy who happens to be in the military. But this guy was over there quite often, frequently. So I didn't get the chance to see her. But the funny thing about it is that this guy that was in the services had a girl already. Okay. And I met him and his girl on New Year's Eve because it was a big, let me tell you something about overseas. They celebrate New Year's Eve like crazy. Like, they open out the red carpet for you and everything. Cause I got opened out a red carpet. Okay. And I got a seat with a bottle of champagne, and all of that cost me $60.
Damn.
I paid $60 for a bottle of Moet on ice with another drink, with another bottle, and it was $60. And we were in a red carpet, so we were dressed real nice. We were sitting at the same table. So at the table, it was me and my shorty, and the military guy and his shorty. And now this was on foreign land. We was in Malta. But most of these military, now I'm not trying to like put military men on blast or whatever, but I know people in the services, okay? These guys have access to the most beautiful women on the face of this earth because they're traveling all the time, constantly. And not just that, they don't pay a dime for traveling because they're in the services. And if they're stationed out there, they have more access. So you got to understand that the probability, the percentage of cheating is greatly higher if a person's in the services. Because look, if you're a guy, you're away from your woman for many, 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 many long months, you're going to be propelled to doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting treatment from foreign women, from beautiful women. It's just unbelievable. You see women over there that are 40 years old and they got bodies of a 22-year-old.
Damn.
50-year-old women got bodies of a 30-year-old, and they're working out. I mean, Jesus Christ. I met a Venezuelan woman that was over there in DR, because there's a lot of Venezuelan women that go to DR because they're going there for job opportunities. And this woman had the most beautiful face on the face of this earth, bro. Body like no other. Gorgeous. And man, let me tell you something. When I said I had a good time, she's like, "Papi, you got any friends? I have friends for your friends." I'm like, really? I was like, man, I wish I brought a truckload of guys with me, but unfortunately I don't. So I'm like in the club. I'm with this girl, and I got like 8 to 9 girls with me, surrounding me and shit. And I'm posted up with a bunch of girls, and I'm just like, oh shit. But I'm bored. I'm bored out of my mind. Like, what am I gonna do with all these women? And then the thing is that she's fighting for my attention while the other girls are fighting to get my attention. And the thing is that she made the mistake by bringing me along with her girl. She's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that anymore because I don't want no girls looking at you." They're very jealous women over there. But the attention is just great, man. It's like, it's wow. I just feel like I'm on top of the world, man. Like, it's just an undescribable feeling when you're over there. It's just the way they treat you. And I just want to just bring this up, man, because a lot of people get the wrong idea that women are just over there just like, oh, well, you're American, so they just trying to get a green card, or they're just trying to get a visa to come over here. 90% of the time, that's not the case. I mean, you do have women out there that do their hustle, that's like everywhere else, but you just got to know which ones to pick from. I mean, you got to know the areas too. If you're in the tourist areas, like these tourist areas, you know you're not going to find yourself a good woman because most of these women go over there to make money because they know most tourist people go to these tourist areas to spend money. When I travel to foreign countries, I go inland. I don't go to the tourist areas because when I go to the tourist areas, guess what? I'm going to be hit with American prices. I'm going to be paying for villas that are American prices. I'm going to be paying for food that are American prices. I go inland. When I go to Dominican Republic, for instance, I go to Santiago, or I'll go to maybe the capital of Santo Domingo, or go to or usually I go to what's the place called? Puerto Plata. Puerto Plata is a nice area too. It's not too touristy. There's another place too. Shit, I can't even remember right now. But yeah, if you just go more inland, just a little bit far away from the tourist area, your money is definitely going to stretch. I mean, what a burger would cost you $8, just to say hypothetically speaking, $8, you would be paying $2.50. Okay. I don't go to McDonald's. They have McDonald's and Burger King there, but why the fuck would I go to a McDonald's and Burger King at a foreign land? I'm trying to taste their food. It's all natural. Everything is organic over there. They chop the food. They cook it right there in front of you. They have this thing called arroz con pollo, which is chicken and rice. You know, they chop it up in front of you. They steam it, and then you eat the food. It's great, brother. I'm telling you, man. Let me tell you something. I got a bowl of rice like this big, and some chicken, like about 9 to 10 pieces of chicken, and coleslaw and everything. Let me tell you something. And this is the most fanciest restaurant in Santiago, and I spent $4.50. That is expensive.
Damn.
That is expensive. $4.50 is expensive. That's just like it's like equivalent to paying $40-something for a meal. I paid $4.50.
Okay, let me ask you this before we get into some of the relationship stuff. Like when you get there and you got the US dollar cash on you, how much do you exchange and stuff like that? Like when you go, how much does it cost for you to rent like a villa and the prices? 'Cause I see y'all did it pretty big when y'all went last time. You know, how much is all like? Can you give us some prices on how much this stuff costs?
Depends on the location on where you're going. Are we talking about DR still?
Yeah, DR.
Well, what worked out for me is you're going to make some mistakes when you first travel out there because what happened with me is I had to do some experimenting. So, of course, I lost some money in the process, but I learned more and more the great thing about being in DR is there are some people that do speak English, but you do got to get on your Spanish game. But there are people that do speak English. I mean, the more you learn Spanish, the farther you go in that country, definitely. And you get more hookups. But I was able to speak to a guy there and meet different people that got me discounts on villas and places and taught me the game of the hotel, the cab game that they play on foreigners. So I was able to learn that and avoid me spending extra money. So the best place to exchange money, honestly, is in the airport itself. When I flew into Santiago, around the right-hand corner upstairs, I think it's on the second floor of the airport, there's a place that actually exchange money for you for free, and they don't charge you. And you get your pesos, and you get more money back. I don't recommend people to change their money in banks because they charge you a higher interest rate, which is a ridiculous amount of money. And you know, why do that when you can actually go there and change it yourself? So if you land, definitely change it in the airport. When it comes down to car rentals, I made this big mistake. Do not rent a car from any airport, no matter where you go. Malta, like I've been to Malta, Singapore, England, Tenerife. Where else I've been to? Canada, Trinidad, Jamaica, DR, Puerto Rico, you name it. I've been to a lot of places. But I wouldn't recommend anybody renting a car from airports. Definitely go inland and rent a car. You get it cheaper. The best thing too, what helped me out as well, is I went on certain websites where you can actually meet women that are in these countries, and you have the option to pick if they speak English or not, which is actually a great help because there are women there in certain countries that you go to that speak English. So when you meet these women, you know, you see their profile pictures, you get to interact with them. There's this app called WhatsApp. I highly recommend everybody, travelers, people who are traveling out there, to download this app called WhatsApp, because what it is it allows you to make international calls for free. So when you make these calls, you can interact with these women. You could text with them. You could do video chats, and you don't have to pay a dime. So that's totally free. There's also websites out there where you can meet women in foreign countries, and I could also, give you that link when we're done with this podcast. At the end, which allows you to meet women in these countries like Dominican Republic, wherever. But I've been to Dominican Republic more times than any of the places, only because it's close to home. It's only an hour and a half flight, and I love the women over there. But I am gonna start exploring other places though. There's other lists of places that's been on my mind that I am willing to conquer. I'm like the Black Christopher Columbus right now. I'm trying to set my territory everywhere, bro.
Let me ask you this. A lot of brothers in the chat is asking about, what the booty is looking like over there, like for as far as the shape, you know what I'm saying, what they built like. And also, there's been rumors that if you try to hook up with these chicks, like you bang them and then they'll ask you for some money afterwards because, a lot of them are prostitutes and shit. They're not like real good girls. Or as you said, they'll try to hit you up with the little, I want some money because I'm in school. Can you send me some money for school and shit like that? Those kind of scams and shit. Is that shit true or is it a lie? And how do you feel about those particular questions?
Here's my honest answer on that, because I've been hit with that many a times too when I went over there. You see, most men need to look at it as a culture aspect of things, because you see, many women, especially in DR, they look at men as us, regular American men, as us being wealthy and us having money, because of the fact that we can go into their country and we can rent out penthouses, villas. I rented out penthouses. I rented out villas on the beach. You seen my video with the when I was with my homeboy Marty when I was out there in DR. I made a video out there with me and my girlfriend and a couple of other girls and stuff. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called The Fly Boys.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. That was pretty much. I put together a whole homemade video and I put it all in one of my experience being in DR. I felt like, instead of me just talking about it all the time, I just wanted to show people like, look, this is for real. I'm not bullshitting. This is my life. This is what's going on. This is what my experiences is. I'm telling people like, this is the life that you have, that you can have. Like, these are the type of women that you can meet. I've met them. So I'm full blown proof. I've got nothing to hide. Okay, where were we at now?
The whole thing about like the are they trying to set you up for money, prostitution? And
the prostitution thing. Okay, well, like I said before, recently, that it just depends on the areas that you go to. I mean, if you go to for instance, the tourist areas, you're gonna find heavy prostitution there because most of the men go there. I'm just gonna plain out and say, just get a quick nut. They want to fuck, so they go out there and they have fun. I mean, but those women do that not because they're trying to get money, which people really get the whole aspect of it. It goes more than just beyond having money. It's about having a certain lifestyle. Some do it because they want to have money to wear nice things, because most women over there, one thing I could say about the Dominican women, they're very, very materialistic. They love to dress nice, even when they're older. But there's nothing wrong with that. I love a woman dressing nice. I mean, but it's just how you carry yourself mentally and what's your purpose of it. But most of the women they go there for the prostitution, usually to take care of their families, for the most part, to help their families out. You got to understand, when you're outside of those tourist areas, there's a different side. There's a poor side. There's a lower developed area. There's broken down buildings. There's huts that these people live in. They got no water, no electricity. Some of these places, no internet, no AC, hot as fuck. And it just makes me, they're washing themselves outside with buckets. But these are these same women that go over to these tourist areas to buy these clothes because they get, see, one thing that I respect about the culture is that as poor as you are, if somebody has money in that family, they all help each other with that money. So that one female can go out there and do prostitution and get money. But with that money, she's helping out her whole family with that money. She's helping her mom. She's helping her brother. She's helping her sister. I mean, it's sad, bro. Like it's a real sad situation. You look at them and you're like, damn, it makes you really think to yourself, like, damn, I'm really grateful for what I got. Because if I was born out there, I'd be in that situation. If you're a guy out there, you have no chance. Now, I know some people have asked me before on my channel and they say, well, do the Dominican men get treated well as much as American guys? I mean, some ask me that and I say the women are just as nice to a Dominican men as they are to American men. But I'm going to let you in on a secret. And this is not to downplay Dominican Republic because there's other countries that are like this. But there are husbands out there that do pimp out their wives to feed the family. Yes. Damn. Yes. And that's stuff a lot of people don't know about. I've traveled to the country to know a lot more about this stuff. It's sad. It's a fucked up situation. It's real sad. But not saying all of them do. But there's some that are willingly doing that because they know that this is the way they can pay their bills. Because they know once the El Gringos get into town, they're spending the money. So that little $5 and some change, some of these people, let me tell you something. My girlfriend lives over there. Okay, I got a girlfriend that stays out there. She pays $100 for rent. $100 for rent. Now we're looking like, damn, that's cheap as fuck. She lives in an apartment. She pays $100 for rent. But you got to understand, these people make $1 or $2 and some change an hour of working. So that $100 they're paying for rent, it's a lot of money if you're making that much an hour. So why do you think that when we go over there and we go over there with like $500, let's say, like the most, like $500 could probably last you if you're just buying food alone and you're taking care of cab fare and food and drinks. $500 could possibly last you for a good 6-7 days if you're really smart with it, maybe more.
Let me ask you this, because there's some chicks out there who are definitely like more white looking probably, and the darker chicks, like what chicks are easier for like a guy like you to talk to? Like, is it easier for you to talk to more of the darker Dominicans or like even the white Dominican chicks? In like which one is it, you know, easy? And have you experienced any racism over there when you go over there?
No, I just experience of me just being a part of them because they think I'm one of them, you know, because everybody speaks Spanish. You got to understand, brother, in that country, people look like me and you. You can pass for being a Dominican man. Anybody can. They have dark-skinned Dominicans with nappy hair, with dreadlocks. They got dark-skinned Dominicans with afros. They got white-looking Dominicans. They got Asian-looking Dominicans. I mean, once you're in DR, you're Dominican because that's what they put you as. Mm-hmm. So it's like, as far as the lighter-skinned women talking to, well, you got to understand that majority of that country of Dominicans are of dark skin. They're of a brown or darker skin complexion. They're not really like they're like a tan type of Indian type of complexion too. They're not really like really light as you would see like most Puerto Ricans would be like. Well, there's dark skinned Puerto Ricans there too, because I could talk about Puerto Rico too. I've been there, but honestly, it kind of feels like you're in Africa. I mean, it's like black people who speak Spanish out there. I mean, you see a lot of dark skinned people, but as far as light skinned people, it's hard. No, I don't, because the people don't see color out there. We are the only country that separate ourselves from color. and features and the way we look. I mean, you see dark-skinned people hanging out with light-skinned people. You see light-skinned people hanging out with dark-skinned people. It's not a color issue over there as you would see most of the people in this country, or even Hispaniards that are living in this country. They don't have the same mentality as the ones living in their country. That's why it's a totally different culture. That's why I've got more into the Hispanic culture by being around a lot of Hispanics and even talking to Puerto Ricans, because you got your New Yorkers that don't like the ones in the South, and you got the South don't like the ones that are in New York. But and then you got the ones in the islands. So it's like it's all separated. Everybody has their different language, their different tone of language or whatever, how they talk. But at the end of the day, if you go to those islands, man, everybody's cool with each other, bro. There's no racial tension. I don't see that at all. At least I haven't experienced that. I don't know about other men who ever traveled out there, but as a black person, like, I can tell you this, I have not experienced any racism out there whatsoever.
Okay, let me do this. Take a little bit of an intermission. So once again, guys, I fucked around and muted myself. So thank you guys for coming on and watching the show. We have about 106 live viewers right now. Once again, thank you for everything you guys do on this particular channel. Really appreciate. I'll be back on my main channel, which has over 37,000 subs, close to 38,000 subs, in about 2 weeks. I'll be going back live over there. I'm just trying to build this channel up as a good backup, putting enough content on this channel. But probably around like the first week of June, I'll be back on the original O'Shea Duke Jackson channel, and I'll unlock about 700 videos I have on private. So I'll be putting those videos back. Let's do this. First of all, we have 110 people watching. I need 30 people to like the video. All right. So let's go ahead and get the likes up on the video. What's up, Kazi? What up, Theron? So let's go ahead and do that and like the video. All right. Now, this is what I'm going to start doing. For those people, unless you've already donated in Super Chat before, if you want to ask the guest a question, and if you've never donated in Super Chat, or if you're not a Patreon, you got to Super Chat your fucking questions. Okay. That's what that shit's for. All right. If you want me to see your question, and if you haven't donated in Super Chat, then Super Chat the question. That means hit the $sign, and then put like $2 on it or something, or whatever amount you want, and ask a question. Don't be just like in here, yo, ask him this, yo, ask him that. No, nigga, that's what the fuck Super Chat's for. All right? The white YouTubers, they do that shit when they want to get somebody's attention. Yo, black ass gonna do that same shit too. All right? So that's how the fuck we gonna do that over here. And that's some real shit. You know what I mean? You go to Pootie Pie's channel or wherever his channel, when they want to get his attention to ask some shit, that motherfucker Super Chat. So if you want to ask the guest something, hit that fucking Super Chat button and put your credit card in like everybody fucking else does and ask your goddamn question. That's how we rolling on this motherfucker. Real talk. And plus, you know that money goes to the Negro manosphere any goddamn way. Like motherfuckers like Rick Thompson, he always donating Super Chat. He can ask whatever the fuck you want to ask. So if you guys always doing this shit all the time, like the Ron and shit, I don't care. Ask what you want. But you niggas who haven't, no. Hit that fucking Super Chat button. And I know who the fuck donates in this motherfucker. I know who don't. You know, this ain't no goddamn game over here. Ain't no fucking freebies. So you can talk shit all you want, but if you want to get my attention, and you want me to ask the guest a question and shit, don't be like trying to tag my name. Nah, nigga, I see that when that money comes up. Otherwise, we're gonna just keep talking shit. All right? So respect this motherfucking game. I ain't playing with you niggas. Okay. Let's go back to the interview. So Andrew, let's talk about something like we're gonna get into some of the freaky stuff. I mean, my girl in the other room, so I can't really.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, but she listening like a motherfucker. She think that she's still up. Listen to the whole goddamn show.
Oh, so you're in Poland?
Yeah, I'm in Poland, but my chick is from Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
We're both from Sacramento. So she moved out here in January.
Oh,
so
wow, nice.
We used to work together. And she lives in Europe. She loves it. She loves it. So
never been out there.
Yeah, it's cold as shit. So But yeah, so like I said, for the people who always like got questions, like my man Rick, my man, wake the hell up, full circle, you guys, let me know. But my other motherfuckers who ain't doing that shit, do not. If you tag my name before we ask you, if you tag my fucking name on some orange shit, trying to get my attention without hitting that fucking super chat, I'm gonna ban your motherfucker. I'm gonna boot the shit out you. You niggas know we do not fucking play on this channel. Don't fuck with me. All right, my bad, dog. I gotta check these niggas sometimes. They be trying to cheat. But, gotta make these niggas pay, man. Fuck that. Shit. This Andrew, tell these people they don't really. Before we go back into this shit, right? They think that this shit that we do don't cost money to do. Can you tell them that?
Yeah.
Don't this shit cost money to do?
Let me tell you something, man. I must have spent maybe about close to maybe $700-800 on equipment. So I mean, I got a new mic, new computer, and all that, and I bought softwares. I bought 3 actual softwares to edit my videos. Depends on what you're trying to do, but I mean, yeah, it does cost money. It definitely does.
All right,
especially if you're every person that constantly makes videos, such as me and myself. So yeah, definitely.
Right. So we don't want you niggas like, do it for free. King of Ugly. What up, young guru? What up, Biznatch? All right. So like what's the sex game out there like with the Dominican chicks versus the chicks out in America?
Sex game. I mean, as far as what, like
are they? I never fucked up. For example, I never fucked a Polish chick, right? But a couple of my boys have told me that the Polish chicks are like fucking dead doornails in the fucking bed. Like they're the worst bitches you can fuck. But what about the chicks like in the DR? Like, is everything good, or is it like different like the chicks in America? Because American chicks are fucking sluts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is like also real shit. Like, I mean, you gonna find sluts everywhere, everywhere you go. I mean, it's nothing different. But the thing is, it's kind of like you get more of a culture experience with it. Even if you're dealing with a female who's of the prostitution area, if you're dealing with a slut, she's not going to carry herself like a slut per se. You know what I'm saying? But she's gonna do slutty things, and she'll let you know if she is or not. I think it's just like in Colombia. I got a few friends who've been out there. I'm about to go out there in September, but they're a little bit more conservative with their sluttiness. But they will, offer you sex as soon as they talk to you and actually, find out if you're about it. But with Dominican women are like this. And like I said, it just depends on the area where you go to. But as far as, them being standoffish or sluttyish, I never really experienced any women who play games or standoffish. I mean, there's during the middle of the week, you're going to find some women that are standoffish only because they're at work. Because most of the women come out to play during the weekends. But they're usually at work or they're doing things. But if they know you're in town and you give them some notice, they will find time for you. Trust me. Trust me. Yeah, especially if they know you're American. They're going to have time for your ass. Trust me. And
really?
The women over there love black dudes. They love black men. Even in Colombia, too. Brazil. All them places, man. Trust me, they do. The Latin cultures, they love it. Most of the time I've had stories of women that tell me like, I had to fuck this American old white guy for money, but of course she wasn't physically attracted to him, but she had to do what she had to do. Some of these women will spend time with you if they really like you. They love the scent of cologne because most men don't wear cologne out there. Dominican men don't. And yeah, I mean, they don't have that cologne scent. Like, so when you spray cologne on you, it's like they go crazy over it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying all of them don't, but I'm just saying they usually don't. And I'm not saying they smell funky or anything like that. They just don't wear cologne, So if you're wearing cologne out there, that's like a big plus. But you normally don't need any type of game. I mean, it just depends on the areas you go to. Like Sosua. Sosua is a man's playground filled with women. And trust me, there's places there's nightclubs like El Rumbas and Disco Clásico, El Chantante, other places like that I've been to. And Let me tell you something, man. I walk right into the clubs, and like I said, I feel like a superstar. You know, the women are. It's you gotta experience it, man. I mean, if you just go to the image page paper and just image and type in Dominican women, and you're gonna see beautiful pictures of Dominican women in the islands. And you're gonna see pictures of how beautiful they are. But it's an experience that you gotta go out there and experience yourself, man. I'm telling you, it's wonderful.
Hold on a second. This nigga getting on my. Hold on.
Oh, you got a troll, huh?
He already on my bad side for some shit he said the other day. This nigga shy 5. What kind of question is that, O'Shea? Listen, nigga, you can get the fuck out this goddamn chat.
Oh, he a troll.
Nah, it's the second time the nigga said some dumbass shit, nigga. You don't be in here donating. You don't do shit. You just in here with a fake ass Malcolm X profile, nigga. If you want to say something to me, nigga, hit that fucking super chat button, nigga. Especially your ass. Bitch, don't tell me to chill. It's your broke ass, nigga. I'm tired of your shit. You always come in here saying some dumbass shit, nigga. And I told your forehead ass before. You say something else, I'm gonna boot your motherfucking ass in a goddamn punt, nigga. Shut your punk ass up. All right, my bad, dog. No, these broke ass, these niggas in here be talking hella shit, be hella wanting to criticize. Don't put up no fucking money. That's the niggas I don't like. If you know what I'm saying, I don't care if you put up some money or not. But don't be in this motherfucker trying to talk hella shit. Like you know you got some pull and you don't do a goddamn thing for this fucking channel. You know what up, Jason? What up, player? I'm tired of these broke ass niggas talking shit. All right, let me do this real quick, man. We're gonna do a little bit of a intermission, man. Y'all see I got my man in here, Andrew26101. You know. We in here rocking, man. Kind of give you brothers a game to go over here. You know, niggas don't appreciate the shit. You know, that's how some niggas are. But I want to shout out to the people, man, who, you know, come in here and enjoy the good time that we have. Like I said, you know, we in here working. You know what I'm saying? So do me a favor, man. Like the video.
Yeah, I just also want to say one thing, too. Those of y'all can find me on that page. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all the information is down below. My description box.
Right, and also what you guys can do is he's in also there, and you can go into the chat. I need some brothers to go and subscribe to his page right now. Okay, you can go to the description, or you can go to the link that's right there in the chat. Click on this page, hit sub. All right, and then let me know that you subbed him, and then comment sub. All right, like I said, I want to get the brother at least 100 to 200 subscribers coming on here tonight. You know, like I'm saying, it was his birthday just a few days ago. We missed the time to do a show the other night. Thank you, Abstract Focus, for the sub. Thank you, Falcon Black, for the sub. I know Wake the Hell Up already is subscribed to your channel. Let me get Wake the Hell Up as a moderator.
Shout out to Wake the Hell Up too. Y'all go ahead and follow that kid too.
Yeah, he's the one dude that's been following me, man, since like before everybody else was on this channel.
Yeah, he's a good brother, man. Cool dude.
He's a good brother. You got good content too. All right, thank you. Millset already a sub. So a lot of these people kind of knew who you were before. So like I said, man, we're just doing it big. Let me ask you this, man, because you got like a you're doing your things. You have some interesting stories, man. Like with messing with females at work and shit like that.
Man, I put my whole life out there, bro. Ain't nothing I have to hide. Put it all out there from experience. I even talk about events that are going on today. I talk about what's going on in my life with women. I talk about any little thing, even a lot of the content in my video. I even talk about job related stuff. And, you know, people could be like, oh, shit, I'm feeling that. Like, I've been through that shit. You know what I mean? That's what separates my content from a lot of people, you know, because I just kind of just put my life out there. I mean, I ain't got nothing to hide. I just put it out there, you know.
Shout out to my man Rick Thompson for the $10 super chat. That brother always done. You know, he always showing love, man. You don't even have to do it no more, bro, because you always show so much love. Appreciate you, bro. What up, James? So we got people subbing to you. Let's talk about like, because you had some good jobs and shit, man. I know you were a driver.
Yeah.
Talk about how you've been driving, man, and how you've been interacting with females at work and what's up with that?
Oh shit. Every day, how do I interact with women? Or how do
you got some interesting stories, man, like the chicks that you have, you know, met at work and shit like that. Like, What would you do? As far as, would you recommend that brothers fuck with chicks at work or not?
No.
Why is that?
Highly don't recommend talking to women at work. Let me tell you something. If that bitch acts out of control, what are you gonna do? If y'all fall out, y'all have a problem, you working with her, she knows the people you work with, you know the people she work with. Y'all all know each other. You know her boss, she knows your boss, even if y'all in different departments. What do you think possibly could happen to you if she's a vindictive, narcissistic type of bitch?
Talk about that one experience, man, where like, I mean, I'd be all in your business, but it was a classic story. You was dealing with some chick, and then her boyfriend's her boyfriend's sister or aunt was like your supervisor, and she caught y'all outside somewhere and fired you both.
Yeah. What did you want to know about? You want me to give you a recap on it?
Yeah, hold on. Before you give a recap, shout out to my man Jason Johnson. He always hooking the nigga up. Rick Thompson, thank you, man, so much. Millset Rose, thank you for the $2 super chat. Reginald Brown, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate you, brothers. But let's go ahead and rock with that. Tell us the whole story from the beginning so these brothers can understand about that shit.
All right, well, here's how it started. And, I got to take some part and some blame in that situation, too. I met this chick at my job. I used to work in timeshare. So when I worked there, it's a cute little Guyanese chick, okay? Her aunt also is the human resource manager, okay? I'm sorry. Her aunt is not the human resource manager, but her boyfriend, her nephews, her boyfriend's aunt is the human resource manager. I'm sorry. So I wasn't aware of this at the time. So we were flirting with each other. They were having some problems in the relationship. Things were going on back and forth. I wasn't aware of. So we started messing around. We did our thing. Come to find out. Sorry, my fault. I just had a call. Come to find out, in that situation, while we were hooking up and we were seeing each other, trying to remember because it happened so long ago. Okay, so one of the days I went to her apartment, which she kind of lied to me about. She actually had an apartment with her boyfriend. I didn't know about that. Yeah. So I would go over there, have fun with her and all that other shit. I called out sick that day from work. Her aunt caught us in the apartment because our aunt has a spare key to her nephew's apartment because she, I guess, had to go get some things on the apartment. So the aunt caught us together. So that very next day, things were like really odd and really awkward. So I already knew that possibly my job could be on the line. And on top of it, some of the people didn't like me anyways because I was one of the top sellers. And, they see a freaking Negro making money and shit more than white people. Of course, they're going to try to slander me. So anyways, they didn't like me and shit. So they did whatever they could to fire me. So they did. They terminated me and they terminated her at the same time. So I'm putting two and two together. So the only person that I feel that could terminate both of us at the same time was her aunt. So the nephew found out from the aunt that we were messing around with each other. So throughout the situation, he was begging her back, begging her to come back. And eventually she went back to him after she lost the job. But she only went back to him because she was trying to get something out of him. Some sort of information. I don't know what it was. But eventually she ended up dumping him and she went back to me. Now, in this situation, I didn't want to take her back. But because of the fact that this motherfucker caused me to lose my job, I said, you know what? I'm going to take your bitch. You want to get me fired, motherfucker? You want to cut me off my paycheck when I got bills to pay? All right. I'm going to take your bitch. I'm going to get him where it hurts. And I took pictures and shit, me and the shorty, and I sent it to him. Got your bitch now. Just like that. I was pissed off. I was mad. She was mad. She got pissed off at him. She used him to get some money out of him. And guess what? The money that she was getting out of him, because he was making good money. He was a manager at Disney. So the money that he was getting, she was giving it to me.
Damn.
And she dumped him. And we took pictures. But guess what? Karma's a motherfucker because I got my karma. See, the fact of the matter is I didn't know that she was with this guy to begin with. And I was ready to like let her go. But the fact that he was talking shit afterwards and he got me fired, that got me more pissed off. And the fact that I didn't like his aunt, I was like, you know what? What can I do to get this guy to hurt him the most? Get this girl away from him. But at the same time, I got my karma back because she ended up doing kind of something similar to me. But I wasn't simping over her as he was. So it is what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the prime examples why I tell men, don't waste your time with women at work, because things could go ugly real quick, real left. I mean, chances are if you guys do break up, it's going to be an oddball situation. You don't know how to handle the pressure. You don't know what type of person this person will be to you. You don't even know if she's going to try to cost you a job. Most likely she won't, but things are just going to be awkward because, you know, women chat. They do chitter chat. They're going to tell other women about you or how you are. Why? Because eventually they don't want you to talk to other women there. And she's forever going to have a dislike for you because you guys are no longer in the committed relationship. I don't care what women will say. They will say, oh, you know, we could be friends afterwards, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Women can be very emotional and get very bitter when it comes down to relationships, especially when you're towards the end of a relationship. Because one thing I've learned with women don't like to let go of things unless they're able to find something to let go of. Such as, with my experience, is that if a woman is ready to leave you in a relationship, 9 times out of 10, she's already locked up somebody she has plans on being with. Because a woman is not just going to break up with a man and not have a game plan in hand. Real talk.
Damn. So, once again, shout out to Stammer and Benny. Appreciate you, player. First of all, I wasn't trying to like, please share it from I have a video about DR Montreal. All right, I'll share it. You guys check out Stammer and Benny right now. You know, check out his page. He has a video about DR Montreal. You can email me stammering Benny if you like at planetoshay@gmail.com. First of all, I wasn't trying to like shame nobody to do anything. I just don't like these motherfuckers be coming in my goddamn comment section trying to tell me what the fuck to do and trying to just basically run shit. You know, that's how niggas are coming to this goddamn channel. And you know I'm gonna cuss your ass smooth the fuck out. So that's just how that shit. I'm tired of dealing with that shit. But anyways, back to this shit. So look, Andrew, I saw your girl, man. The one that's in the DR now. She is fine. I mean, so like, how did you meet her? And like, what's the deal with that, man?
We actually met through a website called Dominican Cupid, and I highly recommend a lot of good men, if you're looking for women in the Dominican Republic. DominicanCupid.com is a legit, 100% legit website. Most of the women, I would say 99.9% of the time, are the real pictures, are the real women there. And regardless or not, 100% of the time, they will give you their number without even you asking for it. The first thing they'll ask you is, do you have WhatsApp? WhatsApp is a third-party form of communication that you can use to contact with women overseas. And you could do video chat. It's a free app, so you guys can go ahead and download that. It's a free app as well, so you guys can do video chats. You could also interact with these women. Now, I like to give good advice to good men that are actually trying to find a good, stable woman out there. Now, like I said, it just depends on where you go to. What got me good luck is I went to places that are not well known to a lot of Mongolers, like tourist people, like, you know, inner cities of Cabarete, you know, which is a little bit up there, not too far from Puerto Plata, or like places like Santiago, You don't want to go too far to Boca Chica, which is close to Santo Domingo, because there's a little bit of more of a high prostitution rate over there. But you want to be more inward, more inland, a little bit more country, because that's when you can find more traditional value type of women. Finally met one. I mean, we've had our ups and downs. We had some problems, and a little bit of personal stuff. I'm not really gonna get into all that, but with her, we had a very mutual understanding. That's one thing I can honestly say with women over there, is that you gotta be on some mutual understanding type of vibe with them. Now, if you so happen to cheat on these women, trust me, they will cheat on you. An eye for an eye. They got that behavior. It's a mentality behavior. I mean, you may not know that they're cheating on you, but it's all about getting to know who they are and seeing if they're a little bit more farther from being westernized. The farther she is from being westernized, the more of a chance you have on gaining a honest, healthy relationship from a traditional type of woman. But it's always a gamble with these females out there. But I'd rather take my chances, knowing that the fact that you have a greater chance on finding women. I know personally men that I talk to who've been married to Dominican women who bought them over here. I even got information on how if you establish and find. In fact, I'm going to make a video on this too, on the K1 visas, on how to establish on getting your woman over here to the United States. I'm going to do tutorial videos on that because I have great information on that. If you do find that significant other, but they have Colombian Cupid too. They have Mexican Cupid. They have all types of different types of websites that you can go to and find the women in those areas. And the greatest thing too about those websites, about that website, is that if you want your woman to look a certain way, you can click the button, and it goes down to the search engine of the type of woman you're looking for, from height to weight to looks. If they speak English too, my girl happened to speak. That helped out a lot. Great too, because not only does she speak Spanish, but she speaks English. So that's a great way too, because I know for first-time travelers, it's going to be very hard for you to adapt to a different country that doesn't speak English. You have to definitely get on your Spanish game. You got to learn Spanish, because I know quite a bit of Spanish. If you don't, and you're on Dominican Cupid, try to find a woman who speaks English, because you could also go through the browser log where you can pick on the type of women that speak. You could pick on women that speak English too, which is pretty good. And you could, no matter what, they have all sorts of varieties of different beautiful women. The only hardest thing is that there's so many beautiful women to choose from, man. You could set yourself up with like 12 dates in 1 week if you want to, with the hottest women. But I could tell you this right now. Trust me, bro. Gorgeous, beautiful women, like women that are 25 pieces that you wouldn't even believe. Like, oh my God, like you would have to take a picture just to bring back home and show to your fellas, like, look, I'm with this chick, and I'm showing you this is the lifestyle that I got out there. I got connections on villas that you can pay for real cheap, and you could stay into a penthouse, and you can live yourself like a boss.
Oh, yo, check this
and you
out.
can feel like a millionaire.
Wake the hell up. Just asked. Hold on a second. Wake the hell up wanted to know about the villa. He wanted to know when's the best time of year to get a villa and to go to the Dominican Republic, like as far as the seasons, and how much would it cost?
Best time to go. Like I'm going back in September, after peak season. You don't want to go during summer. Summertime is very expensive. It's always like that wherever you go. But like I said, it just depends where you go. But reason why I go after peak season, after the holidays, is because of the airline tickets. You can get yourself a round ticket trip, because I fly with JetBlue. I pay $450 for the most part for a round trip, which is not bad. It's about an hour and a 45-minute flight. if you're talking about cab fares too, here's the thing. It's a little bit tricky with the cab fare and transportation too when you get out there. Depending on where you're trying to go. So say for instance, there's actually three destinations of flights. It really just depends on your area and where you live too. Because sometimes JetBlue or American Airlines have certain contracts at certain places that they do fly to. They have restrictions on where you can't fly to. But say for instance, I live in Florida right now. I'm not in New York anymore, but I'm in Florida. If I was flying from JetBlue, and like say for instance, I want to go to DR, there's two places I can go to: Santiago or Santo Domingo, the capital. Or I can go to Puerto Plata. Well, no, I can't fly to Puerto Plata. I could either go to Santiago or Santo Domingo. Santiago is more central, more middle, and Santo Domingo is more south of Dominican Republic. That's the main capital. That's the city. I've been to both places, but if I'm going to go to Santiago, I would have to fly into Puerto Rico. So I would take two connecting flights. One flight would go from Orlando to Puerto Rico, then from Puerto Rico to DR. My experience on flying was very smoothly. There was a little bit of bad turbulence flying from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Santiago, Dominican Republic, because they're literally about 30 to 45 minutes away from each other. It's like a 45-minute flight when you're flying from one island to the other island. It was pretty bumpy. Because I guess it's just the way the tailwinds are, because the winds are like flowing in circle in the Caribbean islands over there. Mm-hmm. But my experience on the turbulence wasn't as great. I rather fly into Santo Domingo. But if you're gonna fly into Santo Domingo and you need a ride to any of the places, like say for instance, either what's Punta Cana or Santiago, which is like 2.5 hours away. If you're in Santo Domingo, you need to go to Punta Cana. It's not that far. It's probably like 45 minutes away. It's very close. It's right there. Probably 30 minutes, 45, something like that. But the thing is, Caribbean Tours is a motor coach where you pay. I think I paid when I flew in from Santo Domingo to Santiago. I think I paid $5.50 for a 2.5 hour ride. I think it was. Like anywhere from $2 to $5 or something like that. Versus getting a cab, because if you get in a cab, let me tell you something. These cabs will eat you alive. Okay, they're like predators. When they see you, they know you're American. Oh, Bobby, I'll take you here. I'll take you there. But guess what? They're gonna charge you $150 for a trip from one part of the island to the other. Yeah, it's $150. And most of the time, you're driving in these 1995 Nissan Sentras, these old, cars. Sometimes they're new too. You get the new ones too. But the thing is, they jack the prices up. And I noticed that with these cab drivers, they barely got gas, and their gas is expensive on that island. Expensive. Really expensive. Your best bet, and this is my strategy. When I got into DR, it's like usually around rush hour time, like 5:30. That's when everybody's kind of getting out of work. It's busy in that city, Santo Domingo. I drove there. If you see in my travel video, I was driving, and I even mentioned that it's crazy out here. It's like GTA. People have no regardless respect for the road. People will cut you anywhere they want. People don't have to use turning signals. Sometimes people go past the red light. You just got to be very observant and very, very, very skillful and sharp on the road. I don't highly recommend anybody driving out there unless you're a really crafty, skilled driver. Your best bet is, if you need to go from one island to the other island, definitely take Caribbean Tours. It'll cost you about $5 or so. You get to one part of the island to the other. You drive from Santo Domingo to Santiago. You pay about $5-something. Then when you're in Santiago, the bus stops at a certain area. Now you want to get to your villa or your place. Then that's when you call for a cab, and you pay $2.50. So altogether, you're spending $7 versus $150.
Damn.
Strategies, man. But a lot of people, as they would say, they call us El Gringos. A lot of us don't know that game or that strategy. So I'm just giving out secrets right now, But these are the stuff that you need to do as people, especially as black men and men. Period. It don't matter what color you are. Just American men. You just got to be smart. The whole goal of your vacation is to make your dollar stretch. Make it stretch. So that way, when you leave your vacation, you still got money left over. I can go to fancy restaurants and pay $4.50 for a gourmet dinner. have shrimp and lobster. I've had pictures with women with me eating shrimps and lobster and crabs and all that other shit that would cost probably a good $60 when I'm paying about $5 for a whole meal. So that just shows you right there, you know, there's strategies, there's ways. You just got to get more inland. You got to get more. My advice too, like even if you go to Dominican Republic, don't be so hesitant to just go ahead and find yourself a woman like off the bat. Try to find yourself a pen pal. Find a friend. Like when I go to Colombia, I got myself a little homegirl who's very beautiful. She's bad as hell, but I'm not hooking up with her. She's a friend. So when I go over there, I can, you know, venture off and she can show me her city and she can introduce me to other people or other women. It's always good to have that good little ace of spades in your pocket. So that way that's your wild card right there.
Damn, this is so much game. Let me do this. Let me ask another question.
You can get far, my man. I tell you. It's a wonderful experience though. Definitely highly recommend anybody to travel there. It's not just Dominican Republic, but it's other places too.
Okay, let me do this. So like I said, man, you guys see on this channel, right? I bring in the experts, bro. You know, I don't know shit about the DR, but I didn't know shit about Brazil. We had the Charles Tyler show here. We had my man, a Black American expat from the Philippines, came on and chopped it up with us. Now we got Andrew26101. Again, I want you guys to like the video. Let's take a little bit of a break. You know, do that. And then what we want to do is also, while you guys are liking the video, if you have not liked the video, we want to subscribe to Andrew26101. Once again, you know, this guy works a whole lot. And, you know, we wanted to come in and give this show, like I said, it's all about the fans, right? You know, we work really hard and we want to give you guys the best possible show that we can and the best information out there. So if you decide that you do want to travel, you know, that you're not getting fucked over, you're not spending a lot of money. It takes a lot of time for us to, you know, network. He's actually a 6-hour time difference away from me right now. And so I'm actually staying up at like 2:20 a.m. In the morning because this is what it took to make this show happen. All right. So what we can do is, you know, so Rod Gary, you can subscribe to this channel right here. All right. So you can go into actually the description, or what you can do right now is just go right to this link that I'm posting in the chat, and you guys can just click on it and sub. All right. So I have 116 watching. I need 3 more people to like the video to get it up to 100 likes, and continue to go ahead and like the video. All right. And once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. And if you guys want to ask him a question in particular, for those people who are already Patreons, you can ask whatever you want to ask. And those people who have donated previously, if you want to ask a question to Andrew26101 about traveling, then super chat your questions. All right. So like I said, the Patreon subscribers are people who've already donated. You guys can ask whatever you want, and I answer that. All right. So for those like once again, your Patreons, just put your questions up there. I'll answer that. But if you're not a Patreon, super chat your question. All right. Let me ask you this, Andrew26101, aka Mr. Showtime. Will you ever bring your girl from the DR, because you live in Florida now? Will you ever bring her over to America and y'all like tie the knot? What's your thought about that process?
My thought process. I'm sorry, man. I'm just looking at the comments over here on the channel. It's going crazy over here.
It's going crazy.
Yeah, I see that.
It's usually crazier than that, man. Usually it's like 300 people, 200 to 300 people, man. Typically, it's like that.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, man, you got a definitely good following station there, man. Good job, bro.
And this channel's only 8,000 subscribers, man. My other one is 30-something thousand. So when I get back on that thing, it's
I noticed that, man. I seen that, man. You've been doing a good job. How long have you been doing YouTube for, by the way?
Seriously, serious YouTube about a year. But I was on here like off and on like 2 years.
Oh man, that's pretty good, man. For having 30-something subscribers and you only been here for a year.
Like hardcore, like a year.
Wow, that's pretty damn good, bro. That's fucking good. Shit, I've been here for since what 2011 or 12, and I only got 13,000. So that's pretty damn good, man.
He probably wasn't like doing a hardcore for all that time. He probably taking breaks and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Probably what it is.
As far as my girl goes, yes, I'm in the process of doing her K1 visa, and I'm pretty much it's kind of funny you ask of that because I'm actually at the ending stages of it. It's a very grueling frustration process. But I tell you what, if you know the perfect steps and the keys, and if you guys want to be in tune and want to also get information on getting a free lawyer to help you out step by step with a third party, I can also give you guys information on that. If you do find a woman and you want to be her petitioner, and that's what I'm doing with mine. There's different type of visas you can do, but I'll get more into that, on a different discussion. But yeah, I'm in the paperwork process of doing that. I'm getting her over here. We both came to a mutual understanding. I like the fact that my girl works in a salon, and that's what she wants to do. Eventually, she wants to have her own salon shop. So we agreed that I'm willing to help her out get this business because not only will it be her business, but it'll be mine too. So that's a great investment for her because one thing I can say, and a lot of people who've been around Dominican people, they can do hair like crazy. I go to the
heard that, dude.
I go to the barbers, bro. The men can fucking hook your ass up with the illest, sharpest edges. Like they are so. There's something gifted about those people when it comes down to clippers and edges, and not just that. When you're getting your hair cut done, they trim your beard up like you see mine. I go to a Dominican shop. They trim my beard up real nice. They give me a massage and shit. They do that the same thing. They rub this little massage thing around you to relax you. So not only is it a great experience on getting your hair cut, because I'm falling asleep while he's doing little edges and shit, like doing my hair. But it's the same thing with the women. I mean, you're a black woman, you want to get your hair done. Dominican women will do hair wonderfully, and they're really good at. I don't know what it is. I don't know the stuff that they use or what. But with anybody's hair, I mean, they can make you look like a superstar real quick. I mean, it's just amazing.
Let me ask you this real quick. Do you see a lot of Haitians over there? Like when you go to the DR?
That's a good question. Yeah, there's a lot of Haitians over there. People need to realize that Dominicans and Haitians, you cannot really tell the difference. And the reason why I say that is because there's Haitians that look like Dominicans. There's Dominicans that look like Haitians. A lot of the Haitians go over to DR for work because, the opportunities are more great. You see a lot of construction workers as Haitians over there. You will see a lot of Dominican Haitian people. So, I mean, the whole thing with, I hear all the time on TV or you hear in politics, I should say, like, I guess island Caribbean politics or whatever, people say, well, Dominicans don't get along with Haitians. Haitians don't get along with Dominicans. That's not entirely true. I mean, there are Haitians that speak Spanish. I mean, you go to Haiti, there's people who speak Spanish. Sometimes you can't even tell the difference. Yes, in certain features you can because Haitians look a little bit more negroid or more like a moreno, more to its sense because they're more of African side, but then Dominicans are African too, believe it or not. I mean, the island is full of black people. I mean, if you go there, I mean, it's kind of crazy because when you go there, I'm seeing these buses, these kids on buses, and they're hanging off the buses and shit while they're driving, like out the window while the bus is moving. It's crazy. Like they'll have like people they don't even have seats on these buses, and they have the rooftops off, and they're like hanging off the buses and shit. Like it's crazy. It's like a really really weird experience. I'm like, damn, are they afraid they're gonna fall off that damn bus? But these people live life on the edge, man. I mean, it's you see sometimes the women they put like those fruit baskets like the African women wear. They dress like Africans out there too. They'll have like the fruit baskets walking around the women. They're very highly into reggae culture too. A lot of people don't know that, but they listen to reggae music. It's not just salsa, merengue, bachata. Yeah, that's very heavily of a culture factor, definitely. Bachata is a very heavy culture in the Dominican culture, but they also listen to reggae music too. You'd be surprised. A lot of them love Bob Marley out there. So there's a lot of shocking things. They are into hip hop too. A lot of them are very much into the American lifestyle. You do happen to go into certain areas where Dominican women love to embrace that type of Western culture and looking like the Western type women.
Mhm.
But like my whole theory is I try to stay away from women that are trying to look more or try to be more like the Western women, because you're gonna have uh certain people out there. I had this one guy try to sell me some fake Jordans too, which was kind of funny. He passed by. He was like, "Yo, papi, hey." He was like, necesito un chancleta or, sneakers and shit. So I'm like, nah, papi, I'm good. Está bien, so está bien. So he was trying to sell me some sneakers and shit. So I know they were fake Jordans because like how Jordan is like up there in the sky and shit, and like half of his leg is gone and shit, and the other air, and one leg is like up here. Like, oh yeah, okay, you ain't get me with that shit. Get the fuck out of here. But hey, they trying to hustle. So I'm not hating on anybody trying to do that.
Yo, my man said fake Jordans though.
Yeah,
Yo, my
they got
man
fake
said
Jordans, fake
fake
everything. But hey,
J's.
man, it's not a knockoff to the people. I love the people out there, man. They're very humble people, very good people, man. I mean, I met some connections with people where I can get villas, houses for cheap. I met some interesting friends. It's a great experience, and the great thing is you meet people. It's just like anywhere else. I mean, that's why I love the experience. My only experience that I want to do in DR is experience Santo Domingo, because I haven't really had the full experience of Boca Chica and Santo Domingo. So that's my next territory in DR. And after that, I think I want to venture off to a different country, because I done been to Dominican Republic at least 7 times already. So I kind of know what to expect.
Let me ask you this though, man. Since you've been there, you've been doing your thing and everything like that. Like, why haven't you made it to like Brazil or a place like that yet? Like, is Brazil on the list?
Brazil is definitely on the list. First of all, before I even get into Brazil, there's also been a lot of scare tactics that a lot of people use. The whole big thing. Well, you go to Brazil, you're gonna catch AIDS. You're gonna get robbed. And I've been told the same thing in Santo Domingo. Oh, you can't, or I should say, this DR period. Oh, you can't walk outside with jewelry. Man, I had my jewelry on, my chain on, and nothing happened to me, dog. Now, there are certain areas where you just can't do that. I understand that. But like I said, if you're not drawing too much attention to yourself, you'll be fine. And as long as you're not bothering nobody, nobody's going to bother you. Bro, I was so intimidated by seeing these regular guys like me and you with regular T-shirts on, walking around with shotguns and shit. But they're really armed security, it's really freaking freaky. Like, this guy was arming my car. When I dropped over, he's like this with his gun, looking at me straight. And he says, ¿Tú estás bien, señor? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Oh, you're Dominicano, sí. I'm like, yeah, I'm an American. He's like, oh, okay. Are you okay? It's okay. I come to guard your car. Nothing will happen to your car. Like, they automatically know you have money and they protect your shit. So what you do is when you get out the restaurant, you go somewhere, you give them a little tip. I mean, these motherfuckers don't play. If they know you're American, it's one thing. If they know you're American, they're going to protect you. Because you know what? You are investing money into their country. Now, the moment that someone of their country fucks with you, they get prosecuted by the highest law. And trust me, they don't want to go through that. The way they handle things is they take the law into their own hands. And that's dangerous. I mean, if say for instance, I've seen an article where a guy ended up raping a Dominican woman over there, and the people took the law into their own hands. They ended up beating him up in the streets. They throw rocks at him. They beat the shit out of him. And this one guy came by and he just shot him in the leg.
Wow.
And he walked away. Yeah. Shit's crazy out there. Shit. But if you do dumb shit, dumb shit is going to happen to you.
Right. I mean, you should pretty much expect to get fucked with if you're going to be doing some dumbass shit. So that makes sense. Let me ask you this, though, man. I mean, as far as the internet out there, and, let me just ask you this. If I wanted to, live out, let's say, Sosua or Santiago, how much money could I live? I know I heard the thing about like cold showers out there and shit like that. How much can I live a comfortable, like good middle class lifestyle in the Dominican Republic with a certain salary per month?
Uh, if you're visiting or you're trying to live.
No, let's say for example, right? I'm like I go to Sasua, right? I'm like, all right, Andrew, I'm out here. I'm staying for 3 months. How much money do I need per month to have like a decent lifestyle, comfortable?
Uh, one of my high recommendations is you got to do some research on the line first on where you got to pick a place in Sisua where you want to stay first.
Mhm.
Um, I've always done this. If I'm staying in hotels, I usually go there first before I book online, because when you book online, you're paying through a third-party services. So you're not actually getting the Dominican prices that you're looking for. You're getting the American prices versus if you actually go there and you book for yourself. Like, for instance, there was a hotel that I stayed in Plantanos in Santiago, which cost me about $60 for the night. No, I'm sorry. It cost me, it was the cheapest. It actually cost me $45 for the night. But versus if I would have went there and actually got the place myself, I would have paid $25 a night.
Damn.
So, and it's really nice. It's not a big apartment, but it's just a one studio hotel. And you got your bed. As soon as you walk in there, you got your bed. It's AC's on point, everything. You got snacks left over there in the corner. They give you toothpaste, Listerine, or whatever. It's all laid out for you. But if you use it, be assured that they will charge you for it. That's why they have everything laid out for you. They got a cooler, a bucket full of champagne and sodas and everything all laid out for you. But that doesn't come with it. You have to pay extra, which is okay. It's not, you're not going to pay that much though. There's also I would highly recommend people try an Airbnb. It's an app that you can download, or possibly a website. It's a website you can go to where you can actually rent out houses and penthouses and villas. That's what I usually do. I usually rent out penthouses and villas by going to Airbnb, and when you go there, you can actually stay in a luxury place for a good, decent price, which is pretty cheap most of the time. I mean, sometimes I spend anywhere between $50 to $115 a night at one of these places. So that's a good way, cheap way of going too. So I mean, that's highly recommended. You could find a place by the ocean. If you guys check out my videos on YouTube, my channel, I have plenty of, or even on Facebook, I got pictures out there too of me and my girlfriend out there over there in Sasua on the beach. My experience of Sasua, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really like it. That's just my opinion. It just depends on your experience. It's a very high prostitution rate, very, very high prostitution rate. That's if you're into that play for play thing, that's totally cool. That's up to your discretion. If you just want to bang out shorties and just have a good time, cool. But if you're looking for a decent woman and you're trying to find yourself like somebody you can mingle in, like a vacation chick, yeah, I wouldn't really recommend that. That's just like you come, you got their services, you play around, you do your thing, and you bounce. You might want to go more inward, more into the countryside to find yourself somebody with more of a substance, But I mean, besides that, the women are great. I mean, even if you go there, I mean, even you got to understand it's a business. So the women there are, they'll treat you great. They'll treat you well. Just be respectful. That's all. Just be yourself. Be respectful. Be nice. They're gonna treat you like a king. They wake up in the morning. They make you breakfast. I mean, I showed videos of me. I'm waking up and I'm recording, and my girl just automatically starts cooking me breakfast. She automatically starts cooking me dinner. I'm sitting down playing video games. This chick is like chopping it up inside the cha. I'm buying the food. Okay, these women don't really have money, okay? But when you go there, they're expecting for you. They live the traditional lifestyle of how the men are the breadwinners. You come there with the money. You help these women out. You spend money, but guess what? You get treated like a man. They cook for you. They clean for you. They wash for you. That's the traditional roles that I'm looking for from a woman. That's what I see in my girl. So I already know we're on point. I told my girl this. I taught her about the feminist movement. I taught her about the American culture and how everything is over here. And I told her straight up, like, look, these are the type of women that will infect you if you come over here, if you're around them. Now, my goal is to tranquilize her with the red pill, with truth and with logic, to let her know, like, look, these women will infect you. Okay, especially a guy like me. If I bring a beautiful bad, like I bring my girl over here, of course she's beautiful, she's stunning. guys are gonna be like predators out here, especially some thug ass dudes. They're gonna be predators towards her. Not just that. I'm also gonna have a lot of scumbag women that's gonna try to pimp her mind out. Oh, why you need to be with him, girl? Oh, you washing his stuff? Oh, you doing his dishes? What? You cleaning? You don't need to do that. We don't do that over here. I say this. I will take care of you. I will give you money. I'll take care of you. You work too. We'll take care of each other 50-50. I'll do what I have to do to be a man and provide for you. And you do your role as a woman and be nurturing and supporting. That's all.
Right. Yo, shout out to my man. I want to give a shout out real quick. My man, Game Changer 00100, the $2 super chat. Hey, I take it all. You know, it's no biggie to me. I appreciate all the help from the brothers. Let me just do this. We've been live for almost going on 2 hours. So let me do this, man. How many people haven't subscribed to Andrew26101, man? I checked his YouTube just now to see how many people that he's subscribed so far. I think that he has gotten at least 43 subscribers from my channel so far today. All right, but we can do better than that, right? So do me a favor, brother, and probably you're gonna get a lot more because you know once it's just over, people will go up to the thing and they'll see watch this video. So let's get the likes up on the video, guys. 121. So sub, Doug sub. 117 watching. If you're not watching the video, go ahead and like the video right now. You know when you like the video more, YouTube promotes it. Okay. So let's continue to do that. All right, so we got 2 more subs there. And let's go ahead and continue to like the videos, brothers. All right, thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate you. All right, so been on my nigga channel. All right, so a lot of people already know you over here. All right, man, so this is what I'm gonna do. I do have to get up early in the morning, so it's 2:39 a.m. Maybe we can schedule, I don't know, man. I would love for you to come back because it's actually a much better show than I thought it was going to be. I was like, well, I don't really know how it's going to be. It's a great show, though. You're an excellent radio person, man.
Appreciate it. And just to let you know, too, that is one of my goals, too. I'm trying to I'm working on my broadcast at the side, too. I did do a little bit of blog radio at one time, but I'm trying to get back into it. But I mean, YouTube has just been a very strong platform to me. I got a lot of supporters on here, so I kind of stick to where I'm at. But I mean, I know as a person, and especially me and you, when we both do videos, we got to venture off, we got to grow as well. But you know, I also want to keep this content still growing as well at the same time. But I also want to venture off and try different things too. You know, I've always been a person of challenges and try to conquer things and try to see what else is out there. You know, to set off a great platform. Wednesdays I do host interviews just like you do too. I do try to interview YouTubers too. I think it's a great way for all of us to connect because I think a lot of us have a lot in common and a lot of interesting stories and things that we can put out there and give information out, which could utilize to a lot of the viewers out there. One of my biggest things is, yeah, I do want to be a radio personality. I do want to be a relationship guidance counselor and also give tips out there, not just for men, but also for women, because the things that I talk about too, a lot of women, I do have some women subscribers, believe it or not, and they're kind of surprised that us as men really have this way of thinking. Like we are like, oh my God, I didn't think men were all like this, you know? So it's kind of intriguing to have women also voice their opinions, you know, rather it's something that I may not agree with or I agree with, you know, but I mean, like I said, I try to just tell everybody, just this is all be respectful and just rock with it, you know.
All right, man. I appreciate you, bro, for coming on. Thank you. I know that
appreciate
we
that, man.
missed you the first time, but like I said, if you ever want me to come to your channel Wednesday and rock, we can. But I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a gang of subscribers, man, in these next 2 days because the brothers are gonna watch this video. They're gonna definitely subscribe to you. Shout out to my man, Theron Williams, High Def. You know, I've had done a lot of interviews, but I think this one was a really clear interview. It's definitely good quality. People can download it and listen to it on the way to work. So yeah, man, thanks for coming on. And let's link up. Let's do another one.
Definitely.
We probably do like a lot of classic ones, man, because we got a good chemistry on this.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna have you on my show as soon as this strike gets off on YouTube.
Yeah. All right, fam.
You know they try to silence me, man. You know how it is, man. When I try to speak truth and knowledge, man, they hate a dude like me. They don't want me to shine, man. But that's okay, baby. I ain't worried about it.
All right, fam. It's good to see you. So just message me on Facebook, man. We'll chop it up, and you can come back whenever you get ready, or however you want to do it.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I mean, like I said, everybody, just my name is Andrew26101. Also known as Showtime. Definitely follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. No deal. Appreciate you having me on the show, Mr. Osha.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man.